Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. I'm at All Circuits here in Guadalajara, and I'm joined by Pascal. Pascal, thanks for joining me. Last time I was here, it was shortly after the opening. There was one line out there. Now there's 4 lines. There's a lot more people. Tell me a little bit about the progress over that period.
Welcome, Philip. I mean, like we say in Mexico, mi casa es tu casa, my house is an house, so my plant is your plant. Effectively, we started with one line, and basically every year we have needs for one additional line. Business is growing every year by like 20%. The demand is there. We will remain competitive even if the inflation and the cost of salary and some different topics which have been, let's say, created by the local government didn't prevent us to continue to be attractive. So that's positive because we're still comparing to the US cost. So of course, now compared to European cost, it's almost the same when we're talking about indirect labor, but for the direct labor, it's still a lot of advantage to be here.
Yeah, and it felt like when All Circuits first decided to come to Mexico, a bit of a gamble, but now it seems to have paid off, not just because it's the right place to be, but there's been a geopolitical shift. We're seeing some reshoring, but also some nearshoring. So Mexico makes a lot of sense for US companies that want to ship over a shorter distance and take a bit of fragility out of their supply chain.
Yeah, I mean, most of our customers are based here in Mexico, but the final product is going to be shipped to US. We have only one exception with product that go to Brazil, but it remains an exception. Actually, the focus is really Mexico and US.
Yeah. And interestingly, I was asking you earlier, you put that first line in, it was from a clean slate, so you got to choose exactly what you put in. You've repeated the same on the other line, so you must have got it right first time.
Yeah, it's a bit of constraint because, as you know, I've put my ESD floor with a different color for the corridor. So that means that the constraint is that we cannot have more than 31 meters. So that means, and we love to have the oven fully aligned. So that means that give very few flexibility before the oven and after the oven. But actually on the 4 lines we have some different configuration due to the optimization of the cycle time. We can have more laser equipment, we can have less conveyor, we have an oven on line 4 with a dual lane and so on. But we have been able to keep the 31 meter. Yeah. In the future, when we're going to grow, we're going to have the possibility to have, for instance, one bottom line and one top in the continuity. So we'll have different strategy. But yeah, for the first 5 lines, the architecture will be almost the same.
Yeah, and you see that 1 line a year strategy continuing for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I think so. Even if we consider that now we need to modify, for instance, the balancing and the let's say SMT placement. Depending on some, let's say, products like lighting, for instance, we might need less module. And on some new technology for the, let's say, electrical car like a powertrain and so on, we might need more than 8 module. So I mean, now we are going to check really maybe to go outside the concept or having the same line with 8 module, maybe we are going to have 6. 8, 10, whatsoever.
Yeah, so you'll make some slight changes. And as you grow, adding lines is one thing. You've also got to add staff and add talent. How is the talent climate right here now?
It's quite easy, I would say. I mean, first, we have some fresh engineers because we have 17 universities. So we used to bring some students every year to give them the opportunity to make their study and to make their, let's say, class at work with us. And after we can propose them to stay with us as technician, engineer, whatsoever. So we love that because it gives a chance to every single people, and again with 17 universities, the reserve is really present, and we have fresh engineer with a new idea, and is very good. And for the rest, we try to keep our let's say talent. It's not always a matter of let's say we need more. is more how attractive we can be and how we can, let's say, share a vision of the future and to give the people the possibility to have an evolution and not to stay at the same job for 5-6 years. And if you give a vision to the people, I mean, and they are interested, I mean, we can have kind of a compromise.
Yeah, and you can show people that have already done that, and they're role models for those that are coming through, and they're mentors for those future employees, and that's really important. People have got to feel like you're investing in them and that they've got a strong future with you.
Yeah, and that's also the reason why we have, let's say, a kind of low turnover for the people. We are single digit and we are less than 4%, and I know that in the north of the country they do have some double digits. Yeah. So I mean basically 3 times more than us, so it makes a big difference.
Yeah, no, it's a big challenge, isn't it? And you know, one of the things that I think people are looking at, not just because of talent but because of rising labor rates, is the idea of using automation to allow you to perhaps do more with the same headcount, or actually increase the productivity per capita. Is that something that you look at and you have a strategy for?
I mean, we're still looking for automatization, but if we want to switch a little bit from 1% automotive to a little bit more of industrial, we need to go back to basic with some, let's say, laminar way with people making insertion. Otherwise, it looks too expensive for, let's say, our industrial customer. Yeah. You know, so everything looks new because equipment have between 1 and 5 years. But when you go for the industrial market, you might have to purchase some second-hand equipment in order to decrease the depreciation in the part per price. So I mean, we were going maybe to change a little bit and to have less automatization.
Yeah, and actually the having automation, having adaptable automation that suits a high mix environment is really challenging. It doesn't feel like the vendors in the industry have really provided a good solution for that just yet.
Yeah, and actually we did it because we know that one of the major, let's say, source of scrap is the handling, and that's the reason why, for instance, on the 31-meter SMT line, people never touch the PCBA even after a while, where they need to check on the reject conveyor. It's always automated, and to flip the magazine and so on. So we still pay attention in order to minimize the number of times that people are going to touch the product.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it feels like you're in the right place, doing the right thing. The growth is impressive, and you've kept a incredibly impressive looking facility moving forward at a good pace. Thanks so much for your time, Pascal. Thanks for talking to me, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Thanks to you. You're welcome.
Thank you.